नमस्ते, मेरा नाम MC केरोरिन है, जापानी रप्पा हूँ। Today I have a guest, she's Marisa.
नमस्ते, मेरा है। मैं एक जापानी लड़की हूँ जो हिंदी बोलती हूँ।
Marisa, long time no see. So how have
Yeah,
you
long
been?
time no see. I'm good. How about you?
I was very busy, so I haven't uploaded videos these days, but I decided to upload more again. So I invite you. So today we're gonna watch the video. The title is Why Air India Will Become the World Largest Airline. Marisa, have you used Air India?
Yeah, I have used Air India once when I traveled to India. I would say that the overall experience was quite good, and I don't remember any specific problem that I faced using this service.
Okay. Actually, I haven't used Air India, so I'm really interested in this video. 3, 2, 1, ほい。
Air India is currently the flag carrier of India, and it has long been the face of India's aviation market. However, over the past few decades, it has faced tough competition, both from local and international competitors. Indigo, the country's leading budget airline, has amassed a huge market share in the aviation market.
It's a big
By
company,
passengers carried in
you
the
know.
domestic market for the financial year 2023, Indigo has over 54.7% share, followed by
That's big
Vistara
share.
at 10.4%, and then Air India at only 9.3%.
9.3.
Such competition would warrant that Air India may face a future where they won't be alone. They will have to fight and offer the best products and services to their customers. However, let me tell you why Air India will actually stand out amongst the rest of Indian airlines in the future. Not just that, they have an opportunity to become a leading carrier globally.
Really?
To understand this, let's first talk about Air India's
Just
history.
9
Air India
point
was started
share?
in 1932 by J.R.D. Tata, one of India's
Tata.
most famed entrepreneurs. It was amazing because J.R.D. Tata was also India's first licensed pilot. This meant that J.R.D. Tata did not just start Air India for India, but also because of his fascination with flying planes. With operations growing fast, the airline had ended its first year after flying 10.7 tons of mail and 155 passengers. By 1938, the airline would rename itself to Tata Airlines and expand internationally
Airlines.
for the first time by adding Sri Lanka to their destination. By 1947, Air India would be acquired partially by the government, but 5 years later, the government would own full ownership and take it out of Tata's control. It took not only years, not even decades, but nearly a century for Air India to go back into the hands of the private sector. In 2021, the Tata Sons conglomerate had sealed a 180 billion Indian rupees or $2.4 billion takeover deal to acquire Air India. Now, the reason why Air India is now back into the hands of the private sector is simply because India's government has been in a trend of privatizing its major conglomerates. The Indian government now wants the private sector to do its part in building businesses and the economy. But the other reason is also because Air India has actually failed to perform well. When Tata Sons had taken the deal, Air India had over 615 billion rupees of debt burden.
Wow.
In the hands of the government, Air India was nothing but a failure. In announcing this deal, Tata would even absorb 153 billion rupees of the airline's debt. Furthermore, according to a report by the BBC, they even stated that Air India has racked up losses worth up to 9.5 billion The government said running the airline was incurring losses of nearly $2.6 million every day. A former executive also said that Air India struggled due to inconsistent service standards, poor aircraft utilization, low on-time performance, outdated productivity norms, inadequate revenue generation capabilities, and unfavorable public perception. The details of the takeover, as reported in early 2022, is that Tata would now have the airlines, as well as 130 aircraft, 4,400 domestic and 1,800 international landing and parking slots at domestic airports, as well as 900 slots at airports overseas. Furthermore, the Aviation Ministry also reported that it had fixed assets which are land, buildings, planes as of the time of March 2021 worth over 450 billion rupees or $6 billion. Air Air India also had more than 44,000 pieces of art and collectibles, including an ashtray designed and gifted by Spanish surrealist artist Salvador Dali in the 1960s. In return, the airline gave Dali a baby elephant, which was flown to Spain. Okay, now that we have an understanding of its history and the takeover deal, we must now discuss why Air India actually has a chance to once again become the leading carrier in India and a chance to become a global aviation company. Let's first talk about the Tata Group. Tata Group is amongst India's largest conglomerates. According to Tata Group's official website, the 2022-23 revenue of Tata companies accounts to over 150 billion US dollars, or 12 trillion Indian rupees. These companies collectively employ over 1 million people. There are 29 publicly listed Tata enterprises with a combined market capitalization of 300 billion US dollars. Or 24 trillion Indian rupees as of July 31st, 2023. Having the backing of expertise, capital, and a brand name that is known all throughout India will inevitably place Air India into the top spot immediately. Now, let's talk about where Air India is today. Air India is still far behind Indigo. That is simply because Indigo is a budget carrier. Their products and services are served to those who can't afford a luxury experience. However, while Air India is far behind in terms of domestic market share, Air India still serves a huge amount of customers. Their revenues from operations, as reported for the financial year 2023, is about 31,377 crore, or approximately 37 billion US dollars. The only problem is that the company is still reporting losses, but it is getting better than when it was in the hands of the government. Air India in 2022, and was announced by the CEO and managing director known as Campbell Wilson, that the financial turnaround of Air India will happen once the passenger experience improves and it becomes an airline of choice for people. Wilson further said that the turnaround has been broadly divided into 3 phases: the taxiing phase, the takeoff phase, and the climb phase, at the end of which the airline's fleet size would triple. The goal is to have a market share of 30% in the domestic as well as the international market in the next 5 years. This was announced when their current market share stood at just 12%. Wilson is one of the essential parts of why Air India will become a better company down the line. You see, Wilson, before joining Air India, was in fact working in Singapore Airlines for over 26 years. He served as the CEO of Scoot, Singapore Airlines' budget arm, and has served various roles throughout his career. His role in placing Scoot amongst the best budget carriers in Southeast Asia will help him do the same thing for Air India. And that's not all. Air India has made huge announcements since his appointment. They have been reported to order over 470 Boeing and Airbus aircrafts in 2023. These are 220 Boeing aircrafts valued at $34 billion. The orders include 190 737 MAX aircraft, 20 of Boeing 787s, and 10 of its 777Xs. The purchase also includes customer options for an additional 50 737 MAXs and 20 of its 787s, totaling 290 airplanes for a total of $45.9 billion at list price. Air India is also buying 40 wide-body A350 Airbus aircraft and another 210 narrow-body A320 Neo planes. Following these big purchases, in November of 2022, it was announced that Air India completed a deal to acquire 100% of Air Asia India and began to integrate it with Air India Express as part of a broader restructuring of Tata's airline business. Then later on in that month, Tata said that it will merge Air India and Vistara. Throughout the rest of 2023, they continuously made ambitious announcements. They would go on to hire people, invest more into technology, and increase their destinations. Finally, the sole reason why Air India is going to become a very big carrier is because of India. The aviation industry of India is going to become big. The country is now the world's most populous nation, and the country will hold that title for decades, if not centuries. Currently, however, the reason why Indigo is the largest carrier by domestic market share is because India is still a developing nation. Its people still can't afford to fly on a luxury plane with a luxury seat. but that will change in the coming future. One should not forget that back in 2014, the aviation market of total domestic passengers amounted to merely 60 million people, but doubled to over 143 million people just before COVID.
Wow.
Over the next decades, India will slowly overtake every single country. Currently, the largest aviation market is still China and the United States, given their population and relatively good customers. But as of 2023, India is actually the third largest domestic aviation, overtaking Japan. It is also predicted by the IATA that India will overtake the United Kingdom in 2026 to become the third largest aviation market. These are, of course, showing the growing trends into the future. Only time will now tell when India will become the world's largest. And when that comes, Air India is surely positioned properly to cater to the coming generations and become India's flagship carrier. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.
In my opinion, Air India is third position and just share is less than 10%. So I am not sure if they can become number one or not. I guess even they hired very popular CEO, I doubt it, but it is very good things to improve their service. So I hope they become number one. In Japan, Air India is not popular. So unfortunately, I have never used it. I hope that we can use it in Japan more. In September, I go to India. So maybe I have a chance to use Air India to domestic trip inside in India.
Right.
So I'm really excited to use it, experience it.
I think Air India definitely has the potential, though may not be a very high potential to become the number one in India, but still it does have the potential. And for 2 points that they mentioned, which are they made a big order of aeroplanes. They are increasing the number of the assets, the airplanes, and so this would mean more service can be provided to travelers, and also basically they're saying that provided that the quality of the service improves, then they will improve their popularity or ranking basically. So yeah, I wonder how that would be, because in Japan we kind of believe that quality more than quantity, and they were mentioning things like they're going to acquire AirAsia India, and was it Vistara maybe? I don't remember, but so they're gonna do some merger and acquisition on the way, aimed for the growth, and so I wonder how they would maintain the quality on the way, or improve the quality rather, right?
I have a question, Marisa. How do you choose the airline company? In my case, I choose it by price, because cheaper price is better for me. So I often choose Chinese airline. How about you?
Yeah, I think mostly the same, in the sense that I would definitely see the price and also the deals. For example, what's the weight of baggage that you can carry without paying extra money. So baggage allowance is important. And whether it's a direct flight or a transit, how long does it take to reach my destination? Yeah, these things are important to me. Ideally, one more thing would be which airport it uses, because in Tokyo, like for people who live in Tokyo, we have two choices mainly. One is Haneda and Narita. So I would prefer an airline that goes to Haneda because it's closer to my home. So yeah, these are the things I choose my flights.
Okay, nice. So I hope Air India, good price and good quality, both. I hope them.
Yes.
So we can use it. So
yes.
Thank you for watching our video. If you like this video, please comment and like button, put likes button. And if you like this video, please subscribe and share on WhatsApp or any other social media. Okay. So thank you. Goodbye. Filmilengue.
Irmenenge. Bye.
Bye.
東京生まれヒップホップ育ち悪そうなやつは大体友達そんな10代送ってないから俺のリアルを歌うよ俺は岐阜県生まれインターネット育ちカボスやってる大体友達掲示板好きも大体同じいろんなスレ荒らして